Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. I am thankful that after 6 years of YouTubing, I still haven't reached 100,000 subscribers, Perna. And I mean that. I would have been a real piece of shit if I tasted any sort of success too quickly. I'm your classic attention whore doing this for all the wrong reasons. I love nothing and seek only praise, constant recognition for inferior work, and money I never earned. I'm a classic millennial who thought talking about football would get me to the top. But this show isn't about me and my failings. It's about football. Thanksgiving football that looks like it is primed to disappoint. After the one thing I was excited to watch, Mitch Trubisky was ripped away from us with a shoulder injury. Let's preview all of the Thanksgiving games. It's good sports, if you care at all. Please, if you're new here, subscribe to this channel. If you're old, if you've been around a while, click the notification button, and it's probably Thanksgiving while you're watching this. Make all your stupid family members subscribe. I am so close to that coveted 100,000 subscribers. I could use your help. You've got me begging. You've got me begging like the beggar internet boy I am. Okay, we do have the 7-3 Chicago Bears versus the 4-6 Detroit Lions. This is the early game, as always. 9 a.m. on the West Coast, noon on the East Coast, 11 a.m. local time. In Thanksgiving terms, this is when your relatives start to arrive, thus making it time to start drinking if you haven't already. One of the things you can all look forward to is your uncle mispronouncing Mitch Trubisky's last name several different ways. Trubinsky, Truzinski, Bisquickie is an outside possibility, especially with all the pie crust at hand. Then you will happily correct his ignorant ass. Uncle Richard, he's not even playing, that's Chase Daniel out there. At which point he will get up for another beer and tomato juice and say, all those Polacks look the same to me. Which I guess he can say since his ancestry DNA test came back saying he's 95% white European and 5% racist. Now this might officially be the shortest week for a team in NFL history. The Bears had to play on Sunday night and now they have to fly to Detroit to play on Thursday morning. That's what they call getting stuffed in the Thanksgiving industry. And also what they call getting fucked in the schedule-making industry. The best way to combat that for the Bears is to continue to terrorize opposing quarterbacks, either by sacking the shit out of them like they did to Kirk Cousins last week, or picking off Stafford all day. The Chicago Bears lead the league with 18 interceptions on the season, best in the NFL, with 4 returned for touchdowns, also the best. They are tied with the Bills for most forced fumbles at 16, and have the second most passes defended in the league with 68. They're fourth in the most important category, 19.5 points allowed per game, which I do have to point out, makes them the best all-around defense in the league, in my stupid opinion. They're doing 2 things that help win games: keeping their opponents out of the end zone and are opportunistic with turnovers and scoring. That defense is really what's allowing Mitch Trubisky to play the way he is, like a madman. No, not Mad Men, not Don Draper cool, calm, and collected. That's the way Jared Goff is playing. Trubisky plays the game like Cosmo Kramer, just all over the fucking place. He's got 363 rushing yards, makes a couple impressive throws every game with his cannon for an arm, and also throws at least 2 passes where nobody knows who the hell the intended receiver is. If Trubisky's Kramer, well then Matthew Stafford is Dr. Fraser Crane. He'll never quite get the credit he deserves in television history, is fairly not for everyone, and highly overpaid. But we don't get Trubisky, we get Chase Daniel, which is like the Law and Order SVU of the NFL. It's still on air, even though I don't know a single person who has ever watched it. The Bears defense is good enough to get a win, even with Chase Daniel. I'll take the Bears, even though all the intangibles are stacked against them. NFC East leading 6-4 Washington Redskins sweet potato pies versus the 5-5 Dallas Cowboys nipping them at their heels. We're at the second game of the day. Now this is usually the game that happens right before and during the mythical period of Thanksgiving lunch, where you ruin your appetite with hors d'oeuvres and awkwardly bump into people in the kitchen you're supposed to love, while you sort of, kind of offer to help and then scurry off like the rat you are, as soon as your aunt asks you, "When are you going to have a baby?" Or for you younger men out there, "Why don't you have a girlfriend?" Plus, you're drunker at this point, which is always the best way to consume any type of Dallas Cowboys game. Your uncle is wondering what happened to Tony Romo, and while you try to explain that he's calling the game instead of playing in it, he starts to go on a diatribe about why a needling black quarter and right on time your cousins are here with the kids, mercifully. The NFC East is the most average division in the league. Washington is in first place, the Giants suck, the Eagles shit the bed this season, and Dallas has the best chance at finishing at the top of this division by the end of the season. Colt McCoy will start for the Redskins after that horrific Alex Smith injury, and Mark Sanchez will be his backup. I do hope Colt McCoy gets injured in this game. Nothing serious, just a pulled hammy or a sprained ankle, and only because history has a way of repeating itself for Washington. I don't really want to see Colt McCoy hurt, but I want Sanchez in the game. Thanksgiving, November 22nd, 2012. 6 years ago to the exact day, Mark Sanchez infamously gave us the gift that keeps on giving, the butt fumble. The booty fumble, the badonkadonk fumble, the ass fumble, the crack fumble, the dirty Sanchez fumble, the sweet cheeks fumble, the derriere fumble, the dad ass fumble, the big bottom boys fumble, the bouncy Bilbo Baggins fumble, the balloons of blue jeans fumble, the busty buns fumble, the gluteus maximus fumble, the boyoyoing badoink doink fumble, all of those. If Alex Smith has to break his leg the same day Joe Theismann did, then Mark Sanchez has to repeat the butt fumble. It would be the only fair move by the football god Gridirononius. It is also the 6-year anniversary of me posting the butt fumble on YouTube. One of the first and shittiest videos I made that got more than like 200 views.
Welcome to a special edition of That's Good Sports, the only sports show that does sports out of its grandma's house the day after Thanksgiving. Real quick, I just wanted to post and share this video.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's hard to watch. Probably as hard to watch as this episode will be in a week. Almost as hard as it is to listen to people pretending Amari Cooper is saving the Cowboys offense. It's 95% Ezekiel Elliott, 5% your racist uncle. When Zeke plays well, the Cowboys win. Actually, whoever runs the ball better in this game probably wins. And you know Adrian Peterson wants to be the star on Thursday, getting that sweet, sweet turkey leg. Running won't be easy as both defenses are 5th and 6th best against the run this season. And out of respect for Alex Smith, I'm gonna pick Washington. We've got the whatever their record is Atlanta Falcons versus the we're still better than the Rams New Orleans Saints. In between the end of the Cowboys game and the start of this game, you've already had Thanksgiving dinner, and you're in that drunk nap phase of the day where all you wanna do is find a spot on the couch or leave a spot on the couch after spilling your 6th glass of after-dinner wine. Napping becomes impossible when your 6-year-old cousin finds you, despite your best attempts to evade all human contact, and questions you about every single part of this football game. He looks up to you because his dad isn't a sports guy, and lords it over everyone because he's the only one in the family who earns 6 figures. Yeah, I just don't have time to keep up with football. I'm always at the office. Plus, I was never really into it anyway. I was too busy learning. But as you sit there rooting for Julio Jones to find the end zone so your fantasy team that you forgot to update because of the short week tanks, your nephew is like, "Who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? Why is that guy so strong? Why does one team have 48 points and the other team only has 10? Why is that guy dancing on the field? Why does Grandpa smell like the fish section at the grocery store? Do you want to watch me play my iPad?" Well, 6-year-old family member, this is probably Grandpa's last Thanksgiving. That's why he smells the way he does. The good guys are the Saints. Drew Brees is probably the #1 good guy in the NFL. The bad guys, well, they're the Patriots and the Raiders, but they're not playing in this game. Those are the indifferent, underperforming Falcons. They only have 10 points because they don't know how to pick a lane. Competitive team or sucky team? Today, they chose suck. The Saints have 48 points in the third quarter because their skill players are too goddamn good, especially against a Falcons team whose hardest hitting safety plays wide receiver. That guy, that's Mark Ingram. He's so strong because he was taking special vitamins that the NFL doesn't want you to take before the season. Now, go ask Grandma to move Grandpa into another room before I throw up all over the place. And go see if your dad wants to watch you play the iPad since he doesn't give a crap about football. And that's why we love Thanksgiving. It reminds us to be thankful we only have to see our extended family twice a year. Special announcement, the regular NFL Game Picks episode will not be up this week because I am taking Thanksgiving off tomorrow, Thursday. Today, if you're watching it now, it's usually when I do the picks episode, and I cannot cram it in before the game this weekend. I apologize. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here. We're so GD close to 100,000 subs. If you haven't done it, subscribe. If you can, convince somebody to subscribe. That's the real trick. That's the real Lord's work. That's really why we celebrate Thanksgiving. I will be very thankful if you do that.